Hey everyone, it's Victoria, the Soul Nurturer, here to offer some hopefully supportive information that nurtures your soul, nurtures your life, nurtures your potential, just as it is right where you are. You know, a lot of my videos lately are all about acceptance, not just for our personal unfolding, but for life as it is right now, this intense time where we feel a lot of pressure, a lot of pushback, and really the pressure and pushback is to help reveal what needs to be healed, again, individually and collectively. It's intense though, isn't it? And so that's why we need even more compassion and acceptance for ourselves and others. And that in itself can be a wonderful practice. Notice what's your level of compassion for self and others, but also to really use this concept of nurturing that has become my soul medicine. Nurturing self, nurturing others, and nurturing potential. You know, we all come in with this beautiful potential that can be hidden, diminished, denied. You know, it can be in our shadow. But it's our jobs, you know, especially as adults, where we go offline from what we got from family of origin and plug into what's available through our own soul, through our own wisdom, through our connection to God, but we let go of the expectations of getting it from others, okay? So nurturing ourselves right where we are. And, you know, these videos I've become more transparent. I say, you know, real me in real time, and I don't edit. I just say what's on my heart, and I just always hope that it helps at least one person. And even if that one person is me, to be reminded of what is needed for my journey, then hey, that's sufficient. But thankfully, I do get some lovely comments from you out there, and I love comments, so please do comment. It does it does put a little inspiration in my tank to keep going and keep offering what I'm doing. You know, honestly, for anyone out there who is doing YouTube videos, you know this wall you hit where it's like, who am I talking to and why am I doing this? But as on topic for today, you know, keep going and keep growing, and that's the message for today. But what I want to talk about today is the transparency here and sharing, and humbly sharing the issue I've had, the experience. I like to say experience I've had with chronic pain, and I make that distinction instead of saying I have, because every time we say I have, we claim it, we reinforce it. So I have been having the experience of chronic pain connected to some thyroid issues and all kinds of things, and I've been going down this rabbit's hole of trying to heal and learn and grow and do my inner work and do a little bit of allopathic medicine and a little bit of, you know, a lot of bit of alternative processes. But it's a real deal, you know, and it's my teacher right now. And so that's where I'm at. And I know there are a lot of you out there who also deal with the experience of chronic pain, or just feeling limited somehow, whether it's pain or where you are in your circumstances with work or life. But that feeling of not being able to be at your full capacity. And for some of us who have the experience of chronic pain, you know, like me, I used to be pretty athletic, and I would have quick rebound time, and I could push hard and recover easily. And it's not just an age thing, believe me, because this all started at an age when it shouldn't have started. I should, you know, I was in my, well, I've had the experience of chronic pain for my whole life, and I think it is connected to being a sensitive and an empathic person who didn't know how to work with all of the absorption of other people's stuff or the intensity of the world, and it lived in my body and it was expressed through my body, and sometimes that still happens. I do a lot of practice around grounding and clearing, and that's helpful protocol, and even then there's still the experience. So here's what I've learned so far about this, and then I want to get to what happened yesterday. You know, I used to be, and I talk about this a lot, I used to be in that, on the bandwagon of just positive thinking. Pray it away, think it away, affirm it away, all will be better. And then I got smacked down with things that I couldn't pray away and affirm away. I had to get real and really look and be with what was. And the acceptance helped me get to a different place of appreciation for my body, greater acceptance for how I used to be able to move, and greater expansion of the work I needed to do. And I want to say this as a side note because it happens a lot. If you share, and comment if you've had this experience, if you have the experience of chronic pain and you share it with people who are healthy bodied, awesome, yay, good for them. We've all been there, or at least I was. And it's a natural common reflex for people who are feeling strong in their bodies to immediately give you advice. Have you stopped eating sugar? Have you tried this supplement? Have you, are you exercising? Are you, all the whole thing? And I understand it. Trust me. I used to facilitate a support group for women going through the experience of cancer, these amazing survivors. And I could be witnessing myself, holding space for them, listening to their experiences, and this voice wanting to say, oh, I wonder, are they being positive in their thoughts? And are they, I kept thinking I had the solution for them. Here's the thing. We're all very unique and different. No one person has the one solution for you. We must engage in our own wisdom and our own experience and learn what we need to learn. And yes, sometimes it is about our thinking, and we find that too, but it's not always about that quick fix. Okay, so I just want to say that. So for you personally, for those of you who are experiencing any chronic pain, I like to tell the story that, or just simply say, and this is going to tie into my story of yesterday, that sometimes blinders are helpful. How they put blinders on horses when they're racing or even walking or doing their whatever. The blinders are there to help them not be distracted and not get spooked by what's beside or behind them. I think sometimes it's not denial, it's awareness that you're putting blinders on to focus on your lane. I love that saying, stay in your lane. Because if we start looking at what other people are doing and what they're telling us to do, we're missing this experience of our own unfolding and missing being present to what we need in every single moment. So here's my story from yesterday. So this experience of chronic pain, this topic is experiencing chronic pain and how do we deal with it, and how do we accept and how do we work with our bodies just as they are. And also the acceptance piece. Aside from chronic pain, whatever our bodies look like or feel like at any given moment, at any given age, this practice of greater acceptance. I mean, it's summertime now when I'm recording this, and I can still feel I'm getting so much better, but the old energy of no, I can't go there. I can't go to the lake with other people because I'd have to put a bathing suit on, and I'm ashamed of my body, or I'm not at my best, and I'm not feeling and looking at my best, blah, blah, blah. Or no, a lot of no's. No, I don't want to try that because I would feel like I couldn't do my best or bring my best or wasn't at my best game. So that's one of the things you need to look at and let go of. Life is moving along, and we only have so much precious time, right? And we can miss out a lot if we deny our own pleasure and joy because we're concerned about how our bodies are, or that they're not functioning at the level we'd like them to be functioning. Of course, we hold the possibility of healing, or maybe even getting in better shape. But we are where we are in the bodies we are in right now in this moment, and life is moving along, and we can either engage with it or not. So I just wanted to share that with you because I'm in the upswing of re-engaging and noticing the regret of not engaging and the things I've missed out on because my body may have been hurting, and of course there's sometimes when our bodies, we're experiencing increased pain and we need to step out and replenish. But there are those times we deny because, for me, I can only speak for me, it feels like maybe I'm being humbled that I'm not at the capacity that I know I normally can be at. So we need to let go of normal and get to the new normal with our bodies, but embrace them right where we are. So here's my story I wanted to share with you. The thing that I have been able to do, we can get into this feeling of I can't exercise. I can't do, even for me, yoga can cause pain. So do what you can do, you know, whatever exercise you can do that works for you. And for me, it's bike riding, and I've been bike riding consistently now for a couple months, and that's felt good. But I noticed that, you know, I'd still do my little ride around the block, or, you know, just little incremental things, a little bit of concern about causing more injury, or having to have, you know, the time of, you know, sometimes it can take 2 days to restore. And I was really into that story of, I can't push too hard, I'll be stuck in 2 days of recovery. So here's my story, and it's really cool because I'm excited about this. So for my husband planned this trip for us in September, and it's a big trip. It's a big hiking trip, somewhere I've always wanted to go, in our Olympic National Forest here, and always wanted to go, but I kept telling myself I can't do it. I can't do it, and can't is the word we're going to pick up on in just a moment. And a lot of fear about it. My body could not do that. 5 days of hiking up in the mountains and some steep inclines. But I have to see my heart lake. If you know me, any of you that are watching this that know me personally, you know how I love hearts. So I've got to see this lake. But I was really in a dark place for a while, thinking I'm never going to see that. I'm never going to be able to do this. I started thinking maybe a helicopter in, but the idea of hiking for 5 days, not straight, obviously, we're going to camp in between, and a gentle pace, but I was really starting to think I missed that opportunity, and there was a lot of sadness around that. Well, so we just started hiking, gentle hikes and not so gentle hikes. So yesterday I had this desire to go to, I knew it's a not gentle hike, it's a very difficult hike, but a lot of friends have gone to this hike, done this hike, and have told me about the beauty of this hike, and I wanted to do it. Now, I knew I wouldn't be able to do the full hike because it's pretty steep, pretty much the entire hike, but I wanted to try, and that was a new thing for me. And it felt really empowered and strong. I want to try again, where I had stopped trying things like this. I want to try again. So we went for a hike last week and pushed a bit, and it felt great. And I felt encouraged. And there's a whole side beautiful story there where I'm going to tell you the story, me and my stories, because it felt like a gift from God. For years, when I go out in the woods, I'm always looking for feathers. I love feathers, and in particular, I have a love of owls, in particular the barred owl. And my husband and I were hiking back down from the trail, and he looked down and saw a little owl feather, and we looked at it and just honored it, and I was excited. But then I said to him, I'm excited you found the feather, but I want to find a feather. All these years I've been wanting to find a feather. So this particular hike was a bit of a push. It was longer than I had been going, and there was some incline, and I was feeling it in my body. And right after I said I would like to find a feather, I said a little prayer, and I said, someday I would like to find a feather. It would give me such joy. And I am not exaggerating that within not even a minute of walking further down the path, I looked down, and not only was there an owl feather, it was like this large owl feather. I have a picture of it. And it was one of these moments where I thought, what just happened? It was magic, pure magic, and a pure gift for me. How I interpreted it was, you are blessed on this journey, and keep going on this choice to hike. And even though my body hurt that morning, to get up in the mountains and move my body and try. So I actually thought my husband had planted it there somehow, because how did that happen? But it was for me. It was that reminder. And so yesterday, my momentum is building now. I noticed after that first push and that hike last week, felt pretty good after it. I felt the endorphin rush, right? So I got really excited to try. I knew, again, I was going to get to the top for this particular hike, and it's called Storm King for those of you who live locally where I live. And so we went, and I felt very excited about going, and I felt hopeful, but I knew I also needed to pace. So pace I did, and with the loving coaching of my husband, who is a personal trainer and a coach and all these great things. And if you want to learn about yourself more, have your partner coach you. and and if you're a coach and you want to get really good at working with difficult people, coach your partner. Because a lot of my unconscious stuff came out right away. We start up this trail and it was steep right at the beginning. And not far in, I'm not kidding, five minutes, and I'm going to be honest and humble, tell the truth, right? I was starting to say things like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm already feeling my legs feeling challenged. I can't do this, and I'm watching these really fit people come down, just scurrying down the mountain like goats on the mountain. And I could feel that comparison. I used to be able to do that. I can't do that now. Starting to shut myself down even more. So it was time to put my blinders on, to focus on what my intention was for the day, do as much as I could. So I had to shift out of cant. Cant traveled up that mountain with me for a while until I shifted. And again, I want to honor my husband, Ben Sanford. He's an amazing personal trainer. He quickly found a way to help me, which was to do it in increments. We did time, like just move for 1 minute and stop. Move for 1 minute, 2 minutes more, and incrementally I was able to shift and go higher and higher and further on that mountain. Now, I didn't make it to the top of Storm King. I was joking yesterday that I didn't do Storm King. I did Stowe. I did STO. I didn't get to the storm and I didn't get to the king, but I believe I will someday. Once I reframed what was happening and I put my blinders on just to focus on what I was intending to do, right where I was in the body I have at the capacity that it had to give me yesterday. And so I was playing with the words cant, or the letters of cant. I love to play with acronyms. So my acronym for cant is continue at natural tack. TACK, which can mean, it's like, it's really, I think it's a sailing term, but it still can talk about movement, like moving, especially as we were going up this mountain, there were a lot of switchbacks. So, that was the best word I could find for T that represented movement. So, but natural, continue at natural. Natural for me means what you are able to do naturally. Now, the edge that I had to find was where I was able to push a little beyond the I can't, and beyond maybe even my fear. And with those of us with the experience of chronic pain, we can have a fear of overdoing it. So it's a tricky place to discern, to listen to your body and see how much more can I go, to honor my body, but to honor the intention of healing and doing the thing you want to do. So we got up about a third of the way, and that was a great success for me. And then what happened was, it's near Lake Crescent, for those of you who know the area. I kept imagining jumping in the lake after. So that kept me going. But we turned around after about a third of the way up, and I know I will be back on that mountain. My motto, meet yourself where you are. In this case, meet yourself where you are and walk yourself up the mountain as far as you can go, and honor that and celebrate that. So then we went down the mountain and jumped in the lake, and then I swam a bit, and then we got home, and I was so exuberant, because what happens when you hit that edge or past the wall of I can't, you get that endorphin rush when you have a real good physical push, and I just felt so good. And I jokingly said on the way home, I think I'm going to go for a bike ride on the way home, because that's a real push. And I don't have the desire, nor would I believe I'd have the capacity to ever do a triathlon, but I jokingly said, this is my version of a triathlon. I hiked up a mountain, I swam in a lake, and now I'm going to ride my bike. And I did. Not far. Again, hey, I went down the block and back. That was enough for me. It was thrilling to know I could do those 3 different types of movement yesterday, and I celebrated that. So I wanted to share this with you if you are in this situation, or you can either relate to being a person that has the experience of chronic pain, or you can relate to the place we can get stuck of, I'll wait for my body to look better, look better or feel better. Like I got to work out before I go to the gym so I can feel okay at the gym. Listen, our life is flowing along. We're either going to engage with it or not. We're either going to do the things that bring us joy, or we're going to feel even worse. So be willing to show up. And here's the thing, I made a little meme for this on Facebook and on my Instagram page a couple weeks back, where I said, I promise you, 5 years from now, you're going to look at a picture of yourself and say, hey, I looked really good. Or you can probably feel in, if you do this, look at an old picture right now, you'll be able to feel that moment where maybe you were in judgment and super critical and holding yourself and your body back. And then there's this feeling of, oh, I wish I let myself just enjoy my body more, or just enjoy my life more. So that's the message I wanted to give today, just to enjoy your body right now, embrace your body, accept your body, love your body, and love yourself forward into those opportunities. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, and definitely don't compare yourself to how your body used to be, or even how it could be, because that's another place where we can get stuck. We want to, we have a goal that we're trying to obtain. I would say with the experience of chronic pain, don't have any big goals. Just have a goal that you can attempt and go for today that's doable, and maybe even a little bit beyond doable. And that incremental embracing and doing and trying, it's going to be really, really helpful. I just want to look, I did write a little note here. I just want to see if I got everything I wanted to say. Yep, don't wait for your body to feel better or stronger, for you to really do the things that you want to do, and just try, be willing to try, and let it look like however it looks for you. Don't compare, okay? And yeah, you know what? Don't be in denial, but if you need to, put your blinders on. So you're just focusing on that next step and the next step, and the joy of doing the thing that you want to do, that you can do in the way that you can do it, okay? Yeah, so no longer denying yourself of joy or pleasure for this life in your body. Enjoy to the fullest that you can. And I think that's all I have for you today. The message is really, again, honoring your journey this way, embracing and accepting yourself just as you are. And the things that call to you, say yes to them and do them your way, and just try. That trying, through willingness to try, is going to just open so much for you. So that's all I have for you today. Just keep going, keep growing, but in doable ways that honor where you are, honor your body, and honor the desire of your heart to engage in your life more. For me, I love doing physical movement, and I shut that down for many years, and I'm reclaiming it, and I'm excited about that. And so I want to hear from you. Where has your edge been, and where maybe have you pushed through it? Where have you been stuck? And what do you want to try? Just try and say yes to. Even if you put your hiking shoes on and you walk 10 minutes. I want to hear about it. Let's just do that together. Nurture our potential forward and encourage ourselves and each other to just do the next thing, to keep going and keep growing and enjoying this life that we have, this gift of life, and the gift of the bodies that we have, just as they are. Okay, that's all for now. Subscribe to this channel if you have not yet. Share it with your friends if you find it meaningful, and click on the bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Take good care of yourself until we see each other next time. Bye-bye.